Ladies and gentlemen, Will here with Garage Gym Guru and the Living 10 Strength Garage. Once again, thanks for joining me on my channel. I'm very excited about this video. Hope you guys have been enjoying the other videos I've been putting out this past couple months. If you haven't checked those out, please do. There's some good stuff on there. Anyway, today I want to do a review of Torque's open trap bar. Now you probably didn't know that Torque had an open trap bar. I didn't know that until recently, and I know that it just came out in 2025. But a lot of times when you see videos of open trap bars for reviews, you see Rep Fitness, Titan Fitness, Eleiko, different companies like that. And maybe you don't think of Torque having an open trap bar because we all know that they're famous for the tank. Awesome piece of equipment, it looks like. I've never used it myself, but it looks pretty awesome. So I wanted to go ahead and get a new trap bar. Reached out to Torque, said, hey, I want to do a review of your open trap bar. I ended up buying one. They gave me a small discount that I truly appreciate. I told them I would give an honest review for you guys as an average guy, just a normal guy who's using their bar. Now I will tell you this, the one thing I will not be doing in this video, it will come later, is actually deadlifting with this thing. Unfortunately, I still have a broken leg, right? Broke the bone in two places and tore two ligaments, so right now I cannot do deadlifts. What I'm going to do in this video is give you all the information I can on this bar, as far as all the dimensions, the specs. Is it equally balanced on both sides? Will it fall over if you put a plate on just one side? All the great information that should tell you whether or not you want to buy this bar. So please stay tuned and watch the whole fucking video. Thanks.
Oh, that's real good.
Stopping me. Ain't nobody stopping me. Ain't nobody stopping me. Ain't nobody stopping me.
That's real good.
Ain't nobody stopping me. Ain't nobody stopping me. Ain't nobody stopping me. Ain't nobody stopping me.
So we all know what an open trap bar is for. We don't need to get into that. What we do need to get into is what this trap bar might be used for, okay? A lot of trap bars are either, they're not rackable or they are rackable. Now you look at me and you go, Guru, you have it racked. No. We're gonna get into that later as far as this bar is truly rackable or not. I believe on the website it says it is not. We'll get into that later, okay? And I'll show you how you can rack this and use it in different ways if you want to. I like an open trap bar that is not technically rackable. Why? Because it's smaller in diameter, okay? The dimensions of it's gonna be smaller. For me, it fits better in my gym, fits better on my deadlift platform that I'm gonna have, which I'll show you guys later on when I'm actually using it. Just me, overall, it's better. If you look at ones that are open trap bars, like let's just say Rep Fitness, great bar, awesome the way they designed it. It's a lot longer of a bar. Why? Because it has a space for you to go ahead and rack it on, put it on the rack and utilize it in different ways. If that's something that you want, great. This technically isn't for that, but I will show you some different things you can do with it. I didn't want a bar like that for me personally. I like when I deadlift, and same thing when I curl with an easy bar curl, for the plates to be a little closer. I don't like it so spread out like on a regular Olympic barbell. Maybe I'm weird, I don't know, that's just me. I like to place a little closer. So for me, I don't want the bar to have this much space between my body and the plates when I do it. I don't need that, okay? So that's something you have to determine for yourself, whether or not you want that or not, as far as if you're gonna buy this bar. For me personally, I don't. Now, I have had the Kabuki Strength Bar, I've had the Bells of Steel bar, and I've also had the Rogue Trap Bar. I've had those 3 bars. I did a review on Bells of Steel and also Kabuki. You can check those out if you want. There were some issues with some of them, but out of the 3 bars, what I really liked about Bells of Steel and Kabuki was it wasn't rackable, because I didn't need that extra space and it fit into my gym, which is 2-car garage, way better. So that's something that you guys are gonna have to determine how you want that. Okay, so that's the first thing, is that technically it's not rackable, but I will show you later how you can possibly use it that way if you really want to, depending on the equipment that you have in your gym. All right, so let's go ahead and get some of the specs of this thing real quick, and then we'll go over overall design. So for the specs overall, okay, you have sleeves. The sleeves are gonna be 12.5 inches. Now I'll put the picture up there that's actually from the website to go ahead and show you guys, just to make sure I'm telling you the right information. But I believe it's 12.5 for each sleeve. In between the handles here, the handles go 25, I believe it is, maybe a little over 25 inches in between there. So that's something you'll have to determine. Overall length for this bar is gonna be 78.8. Now, as far as the grips, there are 2 different grips on this bar. You have the bigger grip that I believe is 48 inches, and the smaller one is 28 inches, okay? Now, for overall design of this bar, okay, as you can see, this bar is not round. It has more of a flat, boxier look on this bar, which personally, I like. Okay, one second, move forward on me. I actually like that on this bar. I know a lot of the bars, they're rounded, because then you can do different exercises putting that on your shoulders. That's up to you whether or not you're gonna do that with this bar. I don't really think you will, but you can, depending if you think it's comfortable or not. But it is boxier, it's got sharper edges on it, nice welding, and I honestly, I think it looks great. Now, as we come down here, I already showed you guys in the video as far as putting it together. Very, very simple design, just like most of these are. The sleeves just slide right in here. They go about right here. And overall, very, very easy. Just put the bolts in, screw them in, and you're done. Okay? The handles come already in here. They're welded together. You don't have to put those together. Same thing with the handles are already screwed in. They come out about even on both sides, depending on which side you want to use, lifting it from the ground. It's going to be the same height. Coming down here, you'll see the foot plates. So it has its own kickstand. Most of these bars do nowadays. Most people don't want to buy one if you don't. It's got that plastic on it, so that it doesn't mess up your floor and it doesn't mess up the metal of the bar. That was already placed on there as well. Coming over here, there's a piece of rubber right here. You can see that actually comes off and on. That is great because it protects your plates from hitting the metal. And then going to the sleeves. Now, let's talk about the sleeves. The sleeves are a slick sleeve, if you want to call it that, right? There's no texture to it, right? So I know most of the barbells, Olympic barbells, they have ridges on them, which I love, okay? But that's going to be a personal preference if you do want that on your open trap bar. I personally don't care. I kind of like that it's slick for this bar. They have a nice little design here. Torque does put their logo on both sides. It is layer cut. It already comes installed on here. And I think it looks pretty badass, to be honest. I like when companies do that instead of just a sticker. Just adds a little bit extra flair to your equipment. Okay. Let's talk about next these handles, since we're talking about overall design of this thing. As much as I love this bar, and I think this bar is great, and again, I haven't used it yet, but I think the overall design of it, the weight, I forgot to tell you guys, is only 50 pounds, 51 pounds, and I think that's fantastic. I mean, you lift this up with one arm, no big deal, not moving around the gym. It's very simple, and I love the way the design is. I love the size of it. The one thing that I hate is that the grip on the handles, they suck, okay? I'm sorry, Torque, I hope you're watching this video, I hope you listen. That's the one gripe I have with this bar. These handles There's almost non-existent texture to these handles. I love that they're different sizes because I'll probably use the fatter grip personally, but there's no texture at all. Now, I don't need it to be super grippy. I will say from Rep Fitness, I do have a lot of their attachments that have that black diamond, I think it's called, grip on it, and I really love that. But this is like nothing. And I'm really not sure if that's just mine that came that way or that's how they're all coming. My suggestion to Torque, if they're listening, and I hope that they are, is change this out. This is gonna be something that might be a deal breaker for some people, maybe not. This is the only thing that might be a deal breaker for some people. Personally, I think what you guys should do is change these out or give an option for different kind of textures, handles that you can sell, and people can switch them out on their own, whether or not what they want. Maybe they want more of a slick handle on one side and more of a rougher handle on the other side. Personally, I think what you guys should do is make new ones, offer them to sell, and call them the Guru Grip. Kind of like that, yeah, I was thinking about that. Send me a pair so I can place them on here, switch them out, and do another review when I'm deadlifting with this bar. And that way I can tell everybody, hey, they changed them out and this is how much better they are. I do think that's the one thing that people are going to gripe about is this. I don't think whether or not it's rackable or not matters that much, but I do think that this matters. All right, Guru Grips. Come on, that sounds really good for the website. And then, like I said, send me a pair so I can put them on. The second thing that might be a deal breaker for some people, it's not for me, is how much the capacity weight for this bar is. It's 500 pounds. I'm not lifting fucking 500 pounds. That might be a deal breaker for you guys. It's not for me, okay? I think 500 pounds is a pretty good amount for somebody who's working out in their gym. Some of you guys that are power lifters, you might want it to hold more. Now, this is 12.5, the dimensions of this sleeve, right? So if you look at a typical big ass bumper plate, those big fat ass bumper plates, those are around 3 inches, close to 3 inches. So you only be able to fit about 4 of those on here, probably without a collar. Now, if you do buy the skinny ass little plates that a lot of companies have, which are pretty amazing, they're iron plates or whatever it is, you're gonna be able to fit a lot more. I'm sure that somebody's gonna buy this bar and test out exactly how much weight that they can put on it, but I know that the company on the website said 500 pounds is the max weight load for this. So that's something up to you guys whether that's gonna be a big deal. For me, that's not a big deal. I don't lift that heavy. I lift as heavy as I can, and for me, 500 pounds deadlifting with my back, it's not gonna happen anyway. So that's up to you guys. So overall, design is great. I think that how much weight it can hold is fine. My biggest thing right here is the grips. Next, let's get into whether or not you can rack this bar. All right, as you can see, this bar is on the rack. Yes. Is it on there in a great way? No. And the reason why I say that is because it's on the J-Cups, right? It's not built to be on the J-Cups like some of these other bars. This bar, because of this, is not gonna go back and forth to where you can do different exercises with it. So as far as on J-Cups, it doesn't work. But that doesn't mean it doesn't work as far as on the rack to do different exercises, right? So depending on what you're looking to do with this bar, if you have spotter arms, safety spotter arms for your rack, which if you're in a garage gym and you work out by yourself, why you don't have those, I don't know. Utilize them. If you have safety spotter arms, all you have to do is this. Take the bar, put it down on the safety spotter arms, and guess what? There you go. It's now rackable sideways. So if you want to lift this bar up here and do shoulder shrugs or whatever it is you want to do, farmer walks, because you want the bar already this way, and you want it up a little higher, you want to do, let's say, deadlifts from a certain point, this bar works. It will be rackable and actually work on your rack depending on what you have, if you have those instead of just regular J-Cups. So that answers that question. So to me, that is not a deal breaker if this bar is rackable or not. It works just fine. So what I'm gonna do guys next, is I'm gonna go and show you some plates being put on and off this bar, whether or not it tilts when you put one plate on, like an old bar that I had did, and whether or not it's counterbalanced on both sides, so when you flip it down, does the front of the bar hit your mat, and then you gotta pick it up there. All right, and I'll also show you guys as far as putting plates on and using the kickstand and everything. So stay tuned, we'll get into all that.
Ain't nobody, stop me. nobody stopping me. Ain't nobody stopping me.
All right, so as you guys saw with that, so a couple of demonstrations. Can you put a plate on one side without a plate on the other side, and will it tip over? No, it will not. Now, as you saw, if you put two plates on one side, which why would you do that? It's gonna tip over on you, and I'm sure that's, any bar that has its own kickstand is gonna do that. But you can feel safe enough to put one plate on one side and then put the plate on the other side without it tipping over on you like I've had with other bars.
You've got to get a hold of yourself.
As far as putting the plates on and off, super simple. Now, I know that some people don't like that slick sleeve on their sleeves of their bars. I kind of like it for this kind of bar. For a deadlifting bar and for an open trap bar, I like it because those bars are lower to the ground, and to me it's just easier to put the plates on and off. They don't get stuck because there's no ridges to go ahead and get the plate stuck. Now, that's going to depend on what kind of plates you have as well, but with the slick sleeve it makes it pretty easy. As far as using the kickstand, super simple, as you guys can see. Now, as far as it balanced, yeah, I would consider this balanced because I've had other bars in the past where when you put it down and the plates are hitting, the front right here hits the ground and you cannot get it balanced. It will stay on the ground. Is that a big deal? It could be depending on the bar, because there are some other bars out there that I've heard what people say is that when they lift this bar, they don't feel like it's fully balanced. They feel like they have to put their hands a little more forward, a little more back. This bar, I can tell you, as you guys, I've already shown you with doing some shrugs with it, you gotta put your hands right in the middle of this bar because it is balanced. This right here weighs the same as the other side. You can feel it when you're lifting this bar that it is definitely balanced. And as you guys can see on that demonstration, when I put it down, yeah, it goes forward, but as soon as I bring it up a little bit, if I want to, it is perfectly even. It is not hanging on the floor or anything like that. So I think that it's balanced pretty damn well. Final thoughts on this bar. I like it. Okay, now granted, I know, like I've said already a couple times, I've not deadlifted with it yet. I don't think I need to know whether or not I like the bar. I already told you I like this design of it. I like the size of it. I like the overall look. I think the weldings are good. I think the sleeves are good. I think it's easy to put together. The packaging was okay, but it did not come damaged at all. I think that it's a pretty fair price. I think a lot of you guys are going to probably end up saying for the price you pay for this, you could get the Rep Fitness one, which is actually rackable. Well, we've already went over that, whether or not you can rack this or not, whether or not you have the spotter arms. I don't think that this is worse or better than Rep Fitness or Titan Fitness or anything like that. I think it's pretty even to those other companies, but I like it better for me because I do like the smaller diameter of this bar. That's gonna be a personal preference for you guys, whether or not that's what you want. Would I recommend this bar? 110%. I think that the build quality is great. I think it's gonna be exactly what you guys are wanting. Now, like I said, if you're lifting over 500 pounds, you might want a different bar. I get that. That's gonna depend on you and what you lift. Like I said, for me, I'm not lifting over 500 pounds, so I don't need that. Okay, so anyway, end result, great bar. Check it out, go to their website. If you wanna buy it, go for it. I don't think you'll be unhappy at all. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with this open trap bar. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining me again. And as always, live like a 10.
Stopping me.